Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session created for a client that had a few appointments in the diary that she knew would cause distress and discomfort. Dental appointments, doctor's appointments. So what you're going to hear in this particular hypnosis session is almost a hypnosis to train the brain to easily access levels of disassociation. So if you've seen the movie Inception, you get the premise of dreams within dreams. So in Inception, it actually goes 5 levels deep. So there's different scenes and there's almost a dream within a dream within a dream, which you can consider each is a level of disassociation. What you're going to hear in this hypnosis session is about 6 or 7 levels of disassociation using a combination of nested loops, but also symbols to represent an extra level deep, but also to access resources. The purpose really is 2 things. One, while you're focusing your attention on other things in your imagination, you're not simultaneously paying attention to your environment. So it's almost the inverse of mindfulness in many ways, where it's mindfulness within your imagination. But secondly, while you're in those disassociated levels, you're able to not focus on the reality and access resources that would be very helpful in your everyday life. So that's what you're going to hear in this particular hypnosis session. Consider it a thought experiment. Consider it useful. If you've got anything in your future that is going to be unpleasant or undesirable, you could, rather than thinking of the dentist chair as the first scene, just think of whatever that thing is that's going to be undesirable for you and to use that to get things going. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of tension or stress, any worries to leave your body in your outward breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to pay attention to the sound of my voice, but also to see how many other things you can simultaneously pay attention to see if you can pay attention to the rhythm of your breathing. And maybe in the room there's a ticking clock, the sound of the wind or traffic outside the window. Maybe there's an electrical device or air conditioning or some sound in the background. Maybe you can pay attention to how the clothes feel on your skin. And perhaps you can pay attention to the temperature in the room, the weight of your eyelids, the tension in your jaw or neck or shoulders. And very quickly you realize your brain is limited to how many things you can simultaneously pay attention to. And if that's true, then we can direct your attention to pay attention to those things that give you more of what you want and less of what you don't. meaning that now and in the future, whenever your body or brain is gravitating towards an unpleasant emotion, you'll have a toolkit, stepping stones, to always go from wherever you are to a different place, with a different focus, with a different feeling. Meaning that the further away you are from reality, the more that time loses its meaning. Levels within levels within levels to mean that even the most unpleasant moment is the equivalent of a blink of an eye. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine somewhere that you'd rather not be. Maybe in a doctor's room, maybe in a dentist chair, or maybe somewhere else. I want you to think of somewhere you'd rather not be and just imagine that you're in that place. To notice what feelings come up, what thoughts come up. And the moment that you evaluate that you'd rather not be there, I want you to activate a part of your imagination to remember a moment from the past, perhaps when you were a teenager, maybe on summer camp. You can appreciate that in your mind, there you are on summer camp, even if your body would be there in a dentist chair or somewhere else. But I want you to shift your focus to that summer camp. To imagine what it would be like to be back then as you were then, but as if it's happening right now. Only you're at the age you were back then, thinking about it now. Notice the brightness, maybe of the sky or the sunshine. Feel the vitality, the energy levels. Maybe you can imagine rocky paths and nature. Maybe you can imagine the actual cabins. But I want you to pay attention to details. Imagine putting your hand on the outside of a cabin and feeling the texture. Whatever material it was made from, maybe wood or brick. If you can imagine the fields, I want you to imagine stopping and looking at a plant in that field. Looking at the shades of the color, the texture in your fingers. Maybe it has a smell. You could even imagine picking up a plant from that field and imagine what it would be like to taste it, even if it's a piece of grass. And notice that when your attention is on those things, it almost feels like you're there. But I want you to connect not with what you see, but what you feel. That floaty feeling of being in a wonderful place. Tap into that wonderful feeling of vitality, of joy, and try and locate that feeling of joy within you. Breathe like you would breathe with that much vitality. I want you to imagine that you're in one of the cabins. Maybe a cabin that you can remember. I want you to imagine you're on an inside room and there's a door. And I want you to imagine standing in front of that door. But on the other side of the door is not a neighboring room of that cabin. I want you to imagine the door in this cabin is a portal towards a maternity ward in a hospital. Starting to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, opening the door, walking through that door and finding yourself in a maternity ward at a time where you had a grandchild that was just born. Hospitals have a smell. I want you to remember the smell. They normally have lights that are quite intense. The smell of cleaning product. I want you to imagine walking through the hospital to a room where you're seeing what one of your grandchildren would have looked like when they were hours or days old. Notice that feeling that you have inside, that feeling of appreciation, gratitude, human connection, love. And maybe you can remember the feeling of the fabric of a blanket, the color of their skin, the softness of their hair, the unique smell of a newborn baby. I want you to remember the people that were around you at that time, the emotions, and then imagine going forward through time, maybe when they're just 2, 3, 4 years old, that cute toddler age, and imagine playing with them. Maybe a game like peekaboo, or maybe with a toy, or maybe with a puzzle, or maybe something else, but remember a moment of play. Connect to that wonderful feeling of play. And when you really tap into that feeling of appreciation, gratitude, and the wonder of life, I want you to imagine seeing what looks like a tiny black hole on a wall. And you're not sure where it takes you, but you're curious. And I want you to imagine diving headfirst into that black hole and then rolling on a beach in Florida. It's sunny. It's hot. Feel the temperature. You can see the unique color. Every beach has a color of sand. I want you to pay attention to this color of sand. Imagine feeling the granules, the grains of sand in your fingers, rub them together, feeling the friction on your skin. Imagine walking into the sea, putting your fingers into the sea, and then tasting the salt water on your tongue. Feel the temperature of the sunshine on your skin. Feel like you're absorbing all of that vitamin D. If there's any sounds, pay attention to the sounds. If there's a palm tree nearby, notice it. Feel the texture of the bark. I want you to get a sense of how wonderful it feels to be on this beach. The beauty, the smell, the sounds. I want you to tap into a mystical feeling of being there on that beach. I want you to tap into all the things that can make it even better. I want you to bring friends from the past and have them sit there on the beach with you. I want you to introduce celebrities or famous people throughout history, dead or alive, to have a wonderful conversation there on that beach, or maybe over a meal somewhere nearby. Imagine you're hosting a beach party, a dinner party with a strange collection of people that would never meet in reality but can meet in your mind, sharing laughter, stories, a wonderful feeling of connection. And enjoy that moment. Feel a wonderful feeling of connection. And then I want you to imagine fully clothed walking into the sea, diving under the water with your clothes on, swimming underwater and finding that the water turns into sky and that there is then a city beneath you. You're now flying like a superhero over a city. It's daytime. You can see the houses, the buildings. It's not a small city. Imagine flying over them, thinking of how many different apartments, houses, offices, buildings, thousands and thousands. And I want your mind to guide you to whatever room in this city contains the resource that you need most of right now. If you need strength, you will float down and fly to a room or a building that contains strength. I want you to imagine it almost like a magic potion. If your mind decides that you need courage, inspiration, love, gratitude, whatever you need most right now, imagine there is a magic potion that exists in a room in that city that you're flying above. Fly down. Imagine you're outside the door to that room. I'll count down from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open the door, walk into that room, and see a magic potion containing that resource that you need most right now. And it's there. Maybe on a table. Maybe in a cup or a glass container. Maybe the magic potion is a color and it glows. And accept the idea that when you drink it, you are absorbing that resource into you. Whatever you need most right now, that's what it is. But before you drink the magic potion, I want you to notice details. Maybe there are pictures or photos on the wall. Maybe there's a carpet or a flooring of a particular color. Maybe there's music playing in the background. Notice whatever you notice in this room. It may be a brand new room, or it might remind you of a room that you've been in before. Whatever you see is exactly what you're meant to see. And when the time is right, pick up that magic potion and drink it, feeling that wonderful resource, whatever energy, whatever thing you need most right now is there, inside you, integrating with you at a cellular level. If you need health, vitality, energy, focus, concentration, self-love, appreciation, whatever you need most, it's there in that magic potion. Absorb it. Feel like it's integrating with your mind, your soul, your body. And then it's time to leave. So I want you to imagine leaving that same door, and then imagine flying up into the sky, seeing the city beneath you, but feeling like you now have that resource that you've needed all along. I want you to imagine flying slightly higher, and as you do so, feel like your head is appearing above water, and fully clothed, you're close to a beach there in Florida. Completely drenched, feeling the wet clothes on your skin. Imagine walking out onto the beach and seeing a collection of random people that normally wouldn't be together, and yet there they are, laughing and joking and giving you a blanket or a warm towel. And feel that connection with these unique people. And then somewhere nearby, you can almost see a swirling black hole. Imagine diving headfirst through that, and then find yourself nearby to a child playing. Give that child a hug. Feel that playful spirit within you, that youthful, playful spirit within you. And then see a newborn baby. Give the newborn baby a kiss on his forehead. Feel that amazing appreciation, gratitude. And then imagine seeing a door, an unusual door that perhaps shouldn't be there, nearby. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go through that door and then find yourself in a cabin, in an island that reminds you of a summer camp you've been at years and years ago. Go outside, smell the smells, feel whatever you feel. Everything you feel at this particular point in time, and then you can't help but think that all along this was never real. Actually, you were lying, maybe on a dentist chair or in a doctor's room, and yet your attention and focus all this time has been elsewhere. I want you to return to wherever that place, maybe the dentist chair, maybe a doctor's, maybe somewhere else. But whatever needed to happen has already happened. It's finished, it's the past, it's gone. And then you realize that even this unpleasant, undesirable place that you haven't even realized that you were is itself part of your imagination. All of this are just ideas within ideas, thoughts within thoughts, dreams within dreams, but giving you evidence that your mind can take you anywhere. That the one thing that can never be taken from a human is the ability to direct their attention to whatever they choose to focus on. And at the point where your unconscious mind feels that you are now empowered to either connect with reality in a mindful way or escape in your imagination whenever you'd rather be somewhere else, just let me know by nodding your head. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose, and feel like you're fully returning to the present, listening to my voice in this moment, paying attention to real sounds around you, real feelings, the sensation of your clothes on your skin, the pace at which you're breathing, the sound of my voice. Take another deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect with your actual body in this moment at this time. As very soon I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, feeling like you've connected with a particular resource that you've needed, but also reminded of how grateful you are for the wonderful memories and moments in your life. And these are now places that you can reconnect with whenever you choose to, whenever it serves you best. Counting from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.